Hello, welcome to another edition of 10 Plus with Afe Harrison. I'm Evidence, and today we'll be talking on a topic, mentorship. This topic has raised so many questions in the heart of youths and we want to deal with it today. It promises to be an exciting time. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. So, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking on mentorship, and I would like to ask, what is mentorship?
Okay, yeah, so let's find a way to dissect that question a little bit more. So you have your question, what is mentorship? Some people might be asking, who is a mentor? So who is a mentor and mentorship are two different things.
Okay.
So who is a mentor is talking about the person. What is mentorship is talking about an experience, right? So to have mentorship, obviously you need to have a mentor, okay? And so the process of mentorship is the process of being inspired, being guided, being led, being instructed by someone that you respect. You see, I didn't say a role model. I want to be very careful with using the word role models. Sometimes your role model could be your mentor, but it doesn't really mean all the time that your role model or your mentor is your role model. And I'll explain why. Because the experience of mentorship, which is in the mentoring, doesn't mean that many people think that they can only be mentored by those who are of high quality, high pedigree. That's not the way I see mentorship. The way I see mentorship and the way that I am being mentored by different class of people. There are people that have not really, in the eyes of many people, attained anything. Yet they are my mentors because they provide for me instructions, wisdom that your skill and your success may not teach me. Sometimes I'm mentored by people's failures. All right. So that's why I say that the experience of mentorship is in inspiration, in direction, in learning, and instruction. So sometimes I'm instructed by a bad thing. Sometimes I'm instructed by a weak person. Sometimes I can be instructed by somebody else's failure. You see what I'm saying now? So I can be mentored by people who are not necessarily big successes.
Okay, so I would like to ask, did you have a mentor?
Yeah, I had mentors and I still have mentors.
Oh,
all right. No, you're saying, did you have, as though I've outgrown the need for mentorship?
Okay.
So I don't think that anybody truly outgrows the need for mentorship, which is why I like your question. So because some people look at me or my friends like Elisha Mama, Sami Kani, Apostle Gina Odoma, and think that we are void of mentors because we are somewhat mentors to them. Okay, but I think that even mentors need mentors. All right, yeah, even mentors need mentors. So, a man of authority must always be a man under authority because power is dangerous, you see. So, the experience of mentorship and mentoring and having mentors gives you a cover, gives you and that cover is not just a cover for protection. It's also a cover for healthy limitations. Because sometimes there's a blessing in being limited. And when you think about the blessedness of being limited, you also want to look at the burden of freedom. Freedom is a lot of weight to carry. So if you come to a certain point in your life, like we have come to by God's grace, where you have this sense of freedom, now you're not just the student, now you're now the teacher, there's a tendency to forget that there's still a need to learn. So anybody that has authority must be under authority. So I have not outgrown mentorship. So back to your question, yes, I had mentors and I still have mentors. But the funny thing though is this. So this is what I usually say. I say the protege usually makes the mentor. So I'm sure we'll probably have time to explain that later. But the protege, in my opinion, makes the mentor. So I have people who are my mentors who don't even know they're my mentors. There are people that are mentoring me like every single month for free. They have no idea they are mentoring me. So I have mentors in the US, I have mentors in Lagos, I have mentors in Enugu, I have mentors in Benue, in Makurdi, Otukpo, who don't even know they are mentoring me. because I'm watching them, I'm observing them, I'm learning from them. I am being instructed by them without them even knowing that I'm being mentored by them. So I have quite a number of mentors. I mean, I have a pool of mentors.
Wow. So this leads us on our next question. Is mentorship a compulsory path to growth? Because we have people who feel they don't need mentors. So are we going to say they are not going to grow, they are not growing, or?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, mentorship is a requirement for growth. Mentorship, everywhere you want to go, somebody else has been there. Everything you want to do, somebody else has done it. Everything you want to achieve, somebody else already has it. So why experiment with your life? I mean, how many years do you have, Biko? Do you understand? So why do you want to experiment? All right? I mean, it's the same thing I say, when I, mentor people on marriage, dating, or courtship. I say, don't experiment. Don't experiment. So many times what we do is we just keep experimenting. And life is too short to experiment. Life provides us with methods that helps us get the best results for our efforts. I'll say that again. Life always provides us with methods. Now, the problem we have in Africa, for example, is not efforts. We have efforts. We have effort with hard labor. Even the way we farm, is effort, hard labor. All right, so we have efforts with the way we work. We have efforts with the way we even live our spiritual lives. The way we pray, they don't pray like that in America. Do you understand? If you see the way we pray, we have effort in Africa. All right. Then you see, people even go to Babalawo. Babalawo is effort too. Do you understand? So
I wake up by 12 a.m.
a.m. to be naked on the streets, kill chicken.
Bath 3 times.
It's effort. It's effort. So if it's effort, we have effort. But see us now. See where we are. So the reason why we are where we are isn't the lack of efforts. Is the lack of methods. The methods that is fueling our efforts is where the gap is. And that's one of the miracles of mentorship. You see, so mentorship helps you to learn and study methods, not necessarily all the right methods, because sometimes a person who is your mentor might have a method that is wrong. But if you're a good student, you will learn both from the right methods and the wrong methods. But the key of mentorship is to provide you with methods and instructions that fuels your efforts. So that way you don't experiment with your life. But it's very, very key that we state here that mentorship is a prerequisite to any kind of authentic growth. If what you want is authentic growth, you must be mentored. I'm not saying you must have physical mentors who are calling you every single day and telling you, so how are you today, Evie? What have you done with your life? Where are you going with your life? No, that's what I'm saying. If that's the mentorship you have, it's not enough. There's got to be a mentorship that is deeper than that. There's got to be a mentorship that is very, very inquisitive of the prodigy. You have to dig. I see I like the way she lives her life. You may be 12 years old, or 20 years old, or 40 years old, but I want to be mentored by you. I may not have the chance to tell you, like most young people do these days, sir, can you please be my mentor? As though it is like a certificate you do and give you paper. Application. So I can see you, admire your life, and I want to be instructed by you. I will take my time to understudy you. I will either come and try and walk around you, or check you online, or read about you, or find out what you do, find out how you do things. Just by observing you, I am being mentored. But the mentorship process is a must for growth.
Okay, so you are saying there are different kinds of mentorship.
Yes, there are.
Okay, so I know you already talked about it, but what is the link? Must we have a link with our mentors?
No. I'm speaking from my experience, okay? And actually, it's a very, very weird feeling, for me especially. I don't know about other people, but for me, when people come and say, I've been following you for 3 years, I follow you on Instagram, I follow you on Facebook, I say, okay, well done. But somebody will come and say, sir, we are friends. I say, oh, we are friends? Yes, I'm a friend on Facebook. I mean, you're not my friend, right? But just, we. So anyways, that was just a joke. So, and then they ask, please, can you mentor me? I want you to be my mentor. And then some of them come and say things like, I want to come and serve in your office for free. I don't mind just coming to work around you. I mean, come on, sometimes it's very intrusive. So imagine if I say yes to all the persons who has come to me. I won't have space to sit there in my office because I'll probably have like maybe 100 people in one small, do you know what I'm saying? So you don't need to have a direct link to your mentor. You don't have to. Like I said, you can be mentored by observation. You can be mentored by study. You can be mentored from a distance. You can have a mentor in America who doesn't know your name, and you've been mentored by him or her for the past 10 years. It's very possible.
Okay. You said something about, can I come and work in your office? So I want to ask, is mentorship sponsorship?
You see, sadly, that is what mentorship is becoming. I think that many times when people say, can you mentor me, they just want to have access to you, really. And that is becoming more and more unfair to those who want to truly give mentorship, because the way that mentorship is being demanded of, puts a lot of pressure, but mentorship is not sponsorship, and truly, it really feels like it feels like a burden now. When people say, I want to be mentored of you, it's like they just want you to help them. It's like the nicest way to say help me. Or that beg within the for the boys, not just like, it's like, do you understand? So many of them are not saying that because they truly want to learn from you. So last night somebody sent me a message and asked me a question about something very important to him, and I sent a link of one of our videos from the YouTube to him. The video had his answers times 10 in there. If you are taking the time to go and watch it, you will need to ask me that question. So if you really want to be mentored by me, I mean, there's so many things out there you can watch.
Feed on.
So when you're done feeding on them, there's a way you come to me and say, look, I watched 8 of your videos. You gave me attention. Oh, you did? Yeah. So you said A, B, C in one, and D, E, F in the other one. I want to know where F comes into the whole play. You have my attention. Because I know that you've been doing your homework. But when you now come and say, I want to start a new business, how do I start? Honestly, there are like 1,250 videos online, both from me and my friends and many other people online that could answer that question. Could just go and do the homework. And then come to me with a more productive question. But many times, people have abused that platform of mentorship and turned it into some form of sponsorship. And it's a huge error.
All right, I promised you it was going to be an exciting time, so we'll just take a short break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. We still have our precious architect, Ape Harrison, in the studio. So now we'll be going to the next question, and it says, how do you deal with a mentor who insists on you applying his or her obsolete methods? That's methods that you're not okay with, maybe they don't sound so good to you, or it doesn't apply to this present time. Maybe it worked during their time. So how do you deal with such mentors or such instructions?
Yeah, I think that mentorship is not a paid job, is it? Yeah, so I mean, it's only when your boss gives you an instruction, you need to obey the last order, right? But I mean, mentorship is it's not employment. So if your mentor is giving you an obsolete instruction, you are within your rights not to apply it. And that's why I really don't recommend that people have one mentor. I mean, some people just say, I have one mentor. In fact, I've had one mentor for the past 10 years of my life. I mean, it makes no sense. You don't have one side to your life. You have one mentor. You can have a mentor who is good with finances but very bad as a husband. Do you understand? You can have a mentor who is great with work but very bad with money. Okay? You can have a mentor who is, great with money and great as a husband, but I mean, he doesn't believe in God. You see? So whatever he says to you may be anti-God because he doesn't believe there is God, and then you believe there is God. So you can't run with everything your mentor tells you. Essentially, the protege is the filter for every instruction he or she is giving. You must be your own filter. because it's you that knows where you want to apply mentorship. You know what I'm saying? For example, you want to be a kind of wife, but your mentor is a different kind of wife to her husband. But there are many things that she knows that you need to be the kind of wife you want to become. It doesn't mean you want to replicate her as a wife, but there's something that she has, a tenacity, her approach to her kids, her approach to her husband, that you want to just culture yourself around. But it doesn't mean that you want to replicate her. So it's not everything that she tells you to do that may be appropriate for you. Also, because the scenarios differ. There are things that could work for her in her life, in her time. You know, there was a time where there were no flights. There was a time where there was no Instagram. There are things that she can say, look, do, because she did it when she was 14 years old. It won't work for you now because the times have changed. And it's possible that the scenario is completely different.
And also the temperament of your own husband is different from
Yes. You seem like the husband part a lot. Yeah, and even your own temperament may be different, you see. So your own temperament may be way, way different. Because she's a very tough person, there's a way she does things. But you're not a tough person. You are more of a nice, calm person. But she said, no, just that. But it doesn't work for you that way, you see. So you want to be the filter of the instructions you receive from your mentors. It's not everything you see your mentors do that you should replicate. Not everything that your mentor does is right.
Well, some people still don't know how to create that balance. They don't know which one to do and which one not to do.
Because people don't want to be responsible. Did you know something? I mean, you see, that's the whole idea behind doing homework in primary school, doing homework in secondary school and university and stuff like that. That's why they give you projects to do. The idea is for you to learn certain things by yourself. You can't earn a degree strictly by what your teacher tells you alone. Even the education system doesn't work that way. There's a part that they'll tell you, so for our next class, go and read chapter 4, 5, and 6, and then do a group, and then do a presentation, right? You know, so all of that is because they want you to be able to filter for yourself what is true, what isn't true, what works, and what doesn't work. If you go by scientific discoveries in the past 100 years, we won't be where we are today. The reason why we are where we are today is that people have come up with discoveries that contradicts certain things that we discovered 100 years ago. Not because what they discovered 100 years ago was wrong, but it was not the complete truth. And it was one-sided truth. So in science and inventions, they have discovered new ways of doing old things, you see. So, and it's the same thing with mentorship. You can't just be one-sided. No.
Okay, so moving to our next question. It says, how do we deal with emotional entanglements with a mentor or a mentee? What if you start having feelings for your mentee, or you start having feelings for your mentor, or you start getting obsessed? So how do we handle it?
You can see that coming. Wow. First of all, it depends on the mentor. Okay? If it's a married man, hold your emotion and beg him. If it's a married woman too, hold your emotion, my brother. All right, so, I mean, but it still comes down to filter. You can't always help what you crave, but you have the ability to control the pursuit of it. You don't always have control. Let's be honest. You know, you could be the most decent husband sitting in your office and a beautiful girl passes and like, wow. It happens. So, you know, so you can't always help that cravings that is encoded into your humanity. But we all have what it takes to control our response to that craving. So some of us have admired our mentors so much, especially from what you are saying, the opposite sex. And then suddenly he's not looking like more than a mentor. For some of us, even worship our mentors. And that's the problem. Obsession. Yeah, you see. So you want to be careful. Those natural instincts may happen. If it's truly that impactful in your life, you just feel as though I cannot do anything until I tell my mentor first. Because everything he has told me has worked. That's okay. It's understandable. But is that growth? Does that mean that you're growing? Does that mean that you are truly growing. Because if you're truly growing, so let me tell you the real test. This is really, really cool. The real test of the fact that a mentor is doing his job or her job is that your need for them should reduce.
Over time.
Over time. The test that you are a good parent.
The children become independent.
You get that now, right?
Yeah.
So if at 2 years you do everything for your child who's a toddler, at 12 years you do everything for your child who's a teenager, and then at 40 you do everything for your child who's an adult, married, father and husband, then you as a parent you're doing something wrong. And he as a child is doing something wrong. Because if you're truly doing a good job on that child, he should have independence at some point, which means that he will need you less. He should need you less. She should need you less. So if you are doing a good job as a mentor, it doesn't mean that they will love you less. It doesn't mean that they will not still come back to you. But the frequency with which they come back to you should reduce. Because they've been around you so much, they have learned so much from you that they can sleep and think your thoughts. That's how it should be, right? So if you're truly doing a good job as a mentor, then the protege should need you less as they grow. And then as a protege, you want to control your heart. You may have that sense of adoration, reverence for your mentor, but you want to be sure to control your emotions. Otherwise, either I can't even put the blame on your mentor, because sometimes proteges are just obsessive, all right? They just they're like fanatics, right? But you've got to have that balance. Otherwise, what is going on is no longer mentorship and protege. Something else is going on there. You know, but it's a very dangerous ground to toe. You want to make sure that you don't give room for unhealthy cravings and desires.
So just to expatiate, when should we let go of our mentor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that there will ever be a need to let go of some of mentors. I think that sometimes you can outgrow a mentor. You know, and I mean, like for me, I have several mentors. There are certain persons that were my strong mentors, let's say 15 years ago. I don't really listen to them again now. Do you understand? What is said to me 15 years ago
helped you at that time,
changed my life, transformed my life. Is the reason why I'm here today by God's grace. But I've outgrown them. You know, not because they're no longer relevant. They're still relevant to people who are where I was 15 years ago. They are very relevant within that terrain. But I'm not in that terrain anymore, you see. So I can't force myself to say that he was my mentor 15 years ago, so he must always be my mentor. No. When I was in that terrain, he or she was very useful. Now I'm no longer in that terrain. I'm in a different terrain now. So there are people that I need to listen to and commit to and learn from and be instructed by in this new terrain. It does not deplete the relevance of my old mentors because they're still relevant in that space. But I'm in a different space now. And in the space I am in, I require a different kind of mentorship and a different breed of mentors. So I don't say, you're not, yeah, so, but you can outgrow mentors. You can outgrow mentors. Just be sensitive to where you are. And when you outgrow mentors, always still respect the ones who were there for you. Because like I said, the people who were there for me 15 years ago are the reason why I'm here. It's the steps I took there that led me here. So they always have a special place in my heart. They call me and say, I will come. Because they play a very vital role. Those are the ones that I'm in direct contact with. There are some of them that I just watch online, watch on TV, that mentor me from afar, who don't even know my name. All right. So for them, once I grow them, I move to the next stage of my life. And if you come to me, for example, mentorship, and you need what I got from them 15 years ago, I will send you back to the material. I say, go and listen to so person. He helped me when I was where you were.
Thank you so much, Star. It's been a very pleasant time. We really appreciate you. Yeah, this is so much content. Thank you. Thank you guys for staying with us. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Leave a comment. Thank you.